Guess what time it is? I don't know why I'm already laughing and nothing's even happened yet. But hi, I am recording this podcast not only via audio but also via visual as well. I still haven't decided if I like doing that or not. I actually did upload my previous podcast to YouTube and created a second YouTube channel. I don't know who the fuck I am. I don't know what's happening. I'm scared. But anyway, let's give it a go and let's see what happens and yada, yada, yada and all the above. So, yes, I'm recording it. And hi. Hello, my name's Amanda and you're listening to the Tequila Hour. And this week, I'm going to just keep it nice and light and breezy, cover girl. It's weird. No, I'm going to keep it nice and light in the sense of the subject. I'm not going to talk about my many mental health issues, nor am I going to talk about everyone else's issues. What I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about the subject matter, or ask the question really, what is your favourite condiment? And I know it seems like a very weird subject, and I thought about this subject as a podcast, I don't know, forever ago, and I thought I'd talk about it because, let's be honest, who doesn't like condiments? And for someone at the moment who is, excuse me, that sounded weird, someone who is trying to be mindful of what they put into their mouth, as in watch their calories or their calorie intake, failing miserably, yes, I am very conscious of the calories in condiments, and most people are. So I thought I'd talk about what my favourite condiment is, and I'd love to know what yours is. So, what is a condiment? If you don't know that, you're fucked. No, what I'm talking about is, when you think about a condiment, I'm talking about food, of course, and I'm talking about sauce, or I'm talking about salt and pepper, or herbs and spices. No, I'm not talking about KFC, but that's what I'm talking about. And in particular, when I'm talking about condiments, I'm talking about your favourite sauce. So may that be tomato sauce, may that be barbecue sauce, may that be wasabi. I don't know what your favourite condiment is, but I can tell you what mine is. And before I go any further, because I'm being distracted by the lipstick tube that I have, which you can't see, but I'm fiddling here. If you're listening to this podcast, on YouTube you'll be able to see that I'm actually holding up the bullet, but I actually am wearing a lipstick I have never worn before. I don't know why, because I'm an idiot, but it is from Urban Decay, which, what the fuck have they done lately? Urban Decay, if you live under a rock or you're not someone who appreciates makeup, obviously they're, manufacturers of makeup in the first instance. And I'm wearing a particular lipstick from Urban Decay, and it's called Voodoo. And it's a metallized, that's what it says, Voodoo metallized. And if you are not watching this podcast, you're a fool. But if you are, you'll see that it is a very bright purple, like a really deep plum purple. And just opening up the book here, it's got like little sparkles in it, and it's very pretty. And I really don't know why I haven't worn it before. But again, something that I think is quite apt to wear during a podcast, because that's what I do. And also, just if you're again watching this via YouTube and you don't know what's happening, I'm holding up a can of my drink of choice today, and my drink of choice today is Smirnoff, double black, 0 sugar. Get into it. These are really good. I don't know, if you haven't tried this, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm assuming, I live in Australia, I'm assuming they have it worldwide. I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't, but it's quite tasty. Drop into vodka, and it tastes like vodka with lemon squash, and it's 0 sugar. And if you drink a couple of them, you get drunk very quickly. So anyway, there you go. So back to the subject of today, and that subject was, what's your favourite condiment? So going to my trusty Google, it tells me here that the number one condiment in the world, is mayonnaise, mayonnaise, okay? Just take it in. Mayonnaise, which has eclipsed ketchup as the top-selling condiment in the U.S. Wait, what was that? That was my phone, excuse me. Yes, which has basically eclipsed ketchup. So, ketchup is a American thing. Sorry, I'm just responding to that text because I can. Yes. So mayonnaise, ketchup. Ketchup's like tomato sauce. So like I said, in Australia, we do have ketchup. We're not completely, separate from the entire world, even though we're down, the continent's down there, in the map on the earth. But yes, we call it tomato sauce. In Australia, it's tomato sauce. And probably the most famous brand is Heinz. Yeah, would you say? Yeah, I'd say so. Heinz, Master Foods. Anyway, tomato sauce is what most people would associate in Australia as ketchup. They're not the same. My understanding is ketchup's a little bit more thicker in consistency. I could be wrong. But anyway, I digress. What we're talking about is that apparently the number one condiment in the world, I don't know if this is like current. Let's see. Let's go to, again, I'm referring to Google, and I'm going to time, and I'm going to go past 24 hours. What is the world's, it doesn't even tell me if I do that. Let's go to, past month. World's favourite condiment. Well, now it changes. Actually, no, I lie. It still says the favourite condiment in the world is mayonnaise, but it also does talk about popular condiments in the world. So apparently brown sugar in Japan is pretty popular. Salt, that'd have to be worldwide, wouldn't it? In Indonesia, there is dabu. Don't know what that is. Sounds interesting. We have, Japan's up there. Japan, another condiment is tenkatsu. Is that how you pronounce it? Don't know. There's also sugar syrup in Japan, which is muzami. Could be wrong. I don't know. But anyway. So, like I said, mayonnaise apparently is eclipsed ketchup. Mayonnaise is pretty good. Do I like mayonnaise? Let's break it down. Yes, I do like mayonnaise. Do I eat a lot of mayonnaise? No, I don't. If I was to choose to use that kind of thing, as in put it on a sandwich or put it on my hot wings or put it on my chicken or all of the above, I'm using Kewpie. And again, if you've lived under a rock for the last, 49 years, Kewpie is effectively Japanese mayonnaise. The Japanese mightn't be liking the fact that I've called it that. I don't know. But again, I'm looking at, I just did a quick Google search and, brought up Kewpie mayonnaise. And it's hard to believe, I'm reading this, Kewpie mayonnaise is Kewpie's flagship product and has been cherished by consumers across Japan since 1925. What? It goes well with salad, sandwiches, sushi, and much, much more. Fuck yeah, it does. Goes with a lot of shit. It's just, I think it's greater. I'm going to put it out there, and you can completely disagree if you want to. I'm going to put it out there. I think Kewpie mayonnaise is far superior than normal mayonnaise. And the reason why I say that is that it just goes with so much more food, I reckon. And Kewpie, which is the company, apparently, that makes, Kewpie mayonnaise, and it's got, if you don't know what that is, Kewpie mayonnaise, I mean, everyone knows, there's like this plastic bottle, it's got this little baby on it, it's so cute. It's like, eat me. No, it's pretty funny. It's very cute, and it's just this plastic bottle and you squeeze it out, it's mayonnaise, and, if you're lucky you can buy one of those giant size ones as well, which is pretty cool. But they reckon the secret of Kewpie mayonnaise is that it contains 4 egg yolks per 500 grams. So the amino acids yielded from the protein of egg yolks is the key factor for Kewpie's tasty, savoury flavour. Yeah, I said it. It's just bloody good. It's just so nice. Oh, and looking here, now I'm clicking pages and getting distracted by different stuff. But Kewpie, as in the company, they have shitloads of different types of Kewpie mayonnaise as well, which there's ones here that I've never actually ever seen. I'm not going to, wait a minute. I've got to translate it for me. Yes, thank you, Google, translate it. I'm looking at one here. It has something else, non-cholesterol. Why can't I have that one in Australia? What's going on there? Kewpie linseed oil mayonnaise. I didn't know about that. Kewpie Light. Why don't they have that in Australia? Kewpie Light, 80% calorie cut. Yes, bring that on. You can actually, I didn't know this, but you can actually get Kewpie mayonnaise in a bottle. I'd get that. Oh, there's a Kewpie Snoopy bottle. Also got distracted. Did you know? Okay, I'm going to read it out to you because, you can't see this. I'm actually going off the Japanese website and talking about Kewpie mayonnaise. And why I'm talking about Kewpie mayonnaise, it's the shit. Like I mentioned before, apparently mayonnaise is the most popular condiment in the entire world. Do I believe that? It could be. I don't know. But I do know that I love Kewpie mayonnaise, and I'd have to say that it's pretty much, apparently it's been around since 1925. I don't know. I haven't lived that long, but it's been around, and apparently people are loving the shit, and I'm loving it, so I'm going to talk about it. So apparently on the Kewpie mayonnaise website, which I've just interpreted to English, not only do you have like your squeezy bottle, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, again, I don't know who you are, but I didn't know, which now I'm learning, that you can buy Kewpie mayonnaise in a giant bottle, which is really cool. Like I said, there's a Snoopy bottle. What the fuck? Kewpie egg care, eggs not used. Oh, as in, I don't know what they use there. Anyway, there's Kewpie mustard mayonnaise, Kewpie smoked mayonnaise. Give me some of that. Oh, I would love that. I'd love to try that. Kewpie half, not quite sure what that means. Kewpie light, which again, give that to me. I want it now. 80% calorie cut. Then I could just go to town. Kewpie zero non-cholesterol. Kewpie Defee, I don't know what that means. Kewpie linseed oil mayonnaise. Kewpie tea, I don't know what that means. Kewpie mayonnaise to taste eggs. What the? Oh, my God. Why are we not getting all this good shit? Why, when we go to Woolworths or Coles, we're only just getting normal Kewpie mayonnaise? We're not getting all this good shit. I don't know what's going on. If you're watching via YouTube, you'll notice that I will have the occasional sip of a drink. If you're hearing this via your preferred streaming service, then you have no idea, but I will be having the occasional sippo of a drinker. But moving on, let's click on one that's random. What is Kewpie Defee? It's D-I-F-F-E with like those little, I don't know, whatever that symbol is on top of the E, like French. This product is characterized by lowering total blood cholesterol and LDL cholesterol by blending vegetable sterols that work to suppress cholesterol absorption. It helps to improve the diet of those who can. What the fuck? Damn you, Japan, and your awesome coops. What? What else is going on here? Let's have a look at this one. What's Coopy Fit? I'm assuming that's, well, it says Coopy Fitty. It's F-I-T-T-E. Maybe they can't spell, but let's have a look here. It is a mayonnaise type of food with a functional claim including rosehip-derived terrestricide, I don't know, that's what the fuck, which has reported to have the function of reducing visceral fat in people with high BMI. What? What? Get off the grass. So, I'm telling you right now, if you've never looked at this, what the fuck? Where can I get this in Australia? Oh my God, it's got all these okay, I'm going to go to the smoked one because that sounds so good. Just by applying it to the material, it is a mayonnaise that you can enjoy the deep aroma of smoked food and the richness of eggs. Oh, mate. I need some of these different ones in my life, like right now. Like, what the hell? So, yeah, okay. I'm getting distracted by this Koopy website, which is the Koopy Japanese website, if you happen to wonder what I'm talking about. And thankfully, Google translates it from Japanese to Australian, to English, I should say, which is awesome because, Google is awesome and all that jazz. But, oh my God, they have the best shit on this site. It's unbelievable. I need to get some of these different, and they don't just have the Koopy. They have all the different types of dressings. They have the seasonings. They have They have pasta sauce, cooked foods, raw foods, stock, gentle menu. That's a bit weird. Gentle. Baby food, jam spreads. What? Jam? Packaged salad. What the hell is happening? Oh, this is the shit skincare. What? There's Koopy skincare. What the hell? Okay, now you've got me interested. What? It is a skincare product created by Koopy, which has been researching and developing hyaluronic acid, you know what I mean, for many years, focusing on water retention power of hyaluronic acid, which supports youthful skin. We pursued a moisture-filled taste. What? What? That must be lost in translation. We will deliver a response to the age of skin who seeks results. Hell yeah. What the hell? Oh, now, this is fascinating. Has anyone ever actually heard, okay, if you're Japanese and you're from Japan or, I don't think anyone in Asia is listening to this podcast, but I think there's one person who downloaded it from Asia. I don't think it was Japan, but anyway, if you're one of those weird people who happen to listen to this podcast and you're Japanese, I would be absolutely, completely interested to hear from you. Have you ever tried any of this Koopy skincare products? I didn't even know they existed. I mean, let's be honest, I can't know absolutely everything that's happening in the entire world. No, but this is fascinating. And the reason why I'm getting excited is they have, now I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to pronounce the Japanese word, or it's translated to English, but it's moisture mist. So do you like a good skincare mist? I'm getting completely distracted off the condiments discussion, but do you like a good mist? And I'm talking about, I use Chantecaille, rosewater mist. Yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm getting distracted. But who knew that Koopy, the company, not only do food and condiments and all this other jazz, but they do skincare as well. Who the fuck are these people? Wow, I am completely and utterly fascinated by this. I don't know how to get some. I mean, they even have jam. Like, I mean, not that I'm chowing down on jam. Like, trust me, I'm not. But they have Koopy sandwich spread. Oh, yum. It features the crispy texture of pickles using vegetables such as cucumber and onions. In addition to vegetables, it also goes well with ham, shrimp, salmon, and brings out the deliciousness of sandwiches. Get fucked, get me some of this shit right now. Oh my God, this website is the shit. Okay, do yourself a favour. If you are listening, if you're one of the one people, I think, actually, okay, there's 3 people listening. Okay, if you're one of the 3 people who happen to listen to this podcast or more and happen to download this podcast or watch it via YouTube, do yourself a favour. If you like Koopy mayonnaise, and I'll be honest, I've never met anyone who's gone, Koopy is shit. Really, I haven't. Do yourself a favour, go to the website and check out what they actually have, because the amount of products that they have is blowing my freaking mind right now. And not only the list of products that they have, but the website in general, it's pretty cool. It's got product information, it's got recipes, yeah, it's featured vegetables. Who's featuring a vegetable? Who knows, who cares, but get into it. Koopy. Koopy.co.gp. If I remember, if I'm not too drunk, I will add this website link to my description box in YouTube, because just do yourself a favour and have a go. But anyway, so we talked about Koopy. We talked about mayonnaise being apparently the world's #1 condiment. Now, in Australia, I'm going to put it out there, I would have to think, in my personal opinion, that it would have to be a tough competition between barbecue and tomato sauce. And the reason why I say that is, growing up, I mean, and I'll talk about my childhood again. it all goes... Somehow it all leads back to my miserable childhood. No. Yes, it leads up to my upbringing. But talking about condiments and talking about eating them and favourites and all that jazz, when I was growing up, we didn't really use condiments. I mean, we had salt and pepper in our house. We did have salt. I just said that. We had salt and pepper. What other condiments? Obviously, we had mayonnaise. Back then, most people had like egg mayonnaise. There was no, I mean, you could get reduced this and that and everything else, but most people used, egg mayonnaise. Yes, we had barbecue sauce. I think we had Worcestershire sauce, because my dad loved Worcestershire sauce. Did we have soy sauce? I don't think so. But what I do remember very distinctively is we never, like, if we ate dinner, we didn't use condiments. I mean, what I'm saying to you is, we might have salt and pepper on the table. My dad might have been able to get away with putting a bit of salt and pepper on his food. If I went to put salt and pepper on my food, I'd be like, why are you putting salt and pepper on your food? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Let's make dinner, put salt and pepper on the table, but you can't use it. Yeah. I don't understand, but, that's why I'm saying I'm fucked in the head. But anyway, we didn't use condiments, so we didn't really use, like, sauce where I know I had a friend called Karen who lived around the corner, and when I went to her house, when I was a little bit older, as in, I don't know, like, I'm talking about 8, 9, 10, 11, kind of getting up, and then early teens, etc. Her house was like night and day to my house, in the sense of not only what their house was like and their family dynamic and all the rest of it, but what their food choices were as well. And that also led into condiments as well. And they, including my best friend, who was another person I'm talking about, Leanne, they were allowed to put tomato sauce on anything they wanted. They used the shit out of tomato sauce. I mean, they put tomato sauce on their vegetables. They put tomato sauce on chips, which, you know, is pretty common. They put tomato sauce on their meat. They put it on, I mean, they could have literally put it in their Coke, like in their drink, and drank it. Like, that's, that was the high usage of these type of condiments in my home, in my home. You were lucky to even, like, lay your hand on the salt and pepper shaker without getting reprimanded, because why the fuck are you using salt and pepper? I know, it doesn't make sense. Like really, I'm thinking about it now. It literally does not make sense to me. But anyway, so growing up, I was fascinated by going over to my friend's house because they were allowed to use, like, tomato sauce like it was, I don't know, water. And I remember I loved going over to my friends' houses because, I mean, okay, there's another story for another day, but in regards to when I would go, I did enjoy having food at their houses. One of the main reasons why I did go to the people's houses, not particularly for the enjoyment of the person, but because of the food, is that they just used condiments willy-nilly. I mean, they were using tomato sauce, they were using gravy, they were using salt and pepper, they were using barbecue sauce, they were using shitloads of shit. And, yeah, so for me growing up, no, I didn't have, much exposure apart from going to my friends' houses to having these types of condiments. But I do know later on in life how many people just view tomato and barbecue sauce as just like salt and pepper, is what I'm trying to get at, in the sense of, you have your dinner and, some people use those type of things during dinner, as in the cooking process, but there's also many people who, once you sit down and, you're about to chow into your food, they just slather their food with tomato or barbecue sauce, and this is normal. For me, like, this is like, and still to this day, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? because I wasn't brought up that way, and it's such a strange thing for me to see, like, people, I mean, some people do it, but, they might, if they're out, they try to be a little bit more controlled about it. But, yeah, it's just one of those things where, especially, I don't know, this could be like a multicultural thing, in the sense, like in America it could be ketchup. It's the same thing as tomato sauce, and people are just like eating their food and willy-nilly smothering their food in ketchup. That could be a thing, but, I'm not in America, so I don't really know. But in Australia, in particular, I know growing up that how many times when I went to my friend's house, it was quite normal for them just to be eating their food and just smother their food with tomato sauce or barbecue. And then as a child, tomato sauce was king. I'd have to say that. I mean, again, if you've been listening, you know how old I am. I'm not going to repeat it. But I'm old. And, yeah, tomato sauce was king. Everyone put tomato sauce on their food and smothered their food with tomato sauce. Where I think as I got older, would I say, yeah, I don't know, particular foods obviously go better with barbecue sauce, but I think barbecue sauce really became more popular in the last, I don't know, I was going to say 20 years, but I don't really know when it was, but it's kind of like tomato and barbecue sauce. Even saying that barbecue sauce in Australia became more popular than tomato sauce, is that controversial? Am I being controversial right now? I don't know. I'm going to have a sip of my drink. I think I am, but anyway. Yes. Yeah, in my personal opinion, just looking at society and looking at people and their food eating habits, I would surmise that barbecue sauce is not only on a level playing field as, tomato sauce, but I would even go above and beyond that and say that barbecue sauce is even more popular than tomato sauce. Yep, I'm saying it. And even saying as well that when you talk about mayonnaise and how, going back to the subject of, mayonnaise being apparently, air brackets, the world's number one favourite condiment, I would say that I'm going to even go and say that I think, actually, I don't know. It could be. Mayonnaise could be more popular than Kewpie mayonnaise because, it's one of those things where obviously with the level of sushi that, non-Asian people are now eating, obviously it's become more popular and become more mainstream. But, in Japan, I'm sure Japanese people were chowing down on Kewpie mayonnaise way before us Westerners were, getting our little mitts on and thinking it was shit, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I would have to say probably if I was to think about, as a demographic, Australians in general, I would have to say, in my opinion, it'd have to be barbecue and tomato sauce would have to be king. I would have to say mayonnaise, I don't know, it's pretty popular, but is Kewpie mayonnaise more popular than normal mayonnaise? Like, I don't know. And the other thing too is, like, when you talk about condiments, then the other one that I haven't talked about, which I know is very popular, is hot sauce. So if you watch YouTube, you see a lot of people, like, I don't know, fitness people and other people, whatever, they use a particular brand of hot sauce because not only is it low in calories, but, it gives some sort of flavour to food, like especially if you're restricting your food and you need something to kind of make it a more palatable, is that the word? Yes. Then, you're chucking something on there that's low calorie. You're not, mayonnaise is high in calories, let's be honest, but, a lot of like, what do you call it? Tomato relish, is that? No, not, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to think of all my condiments because there's too many. But a lot of hot sauces, as an example, Nando's peri-peri sauce. I'm thinking of that because I really like it. They're a lot lower in calories than, say, your mayonnaise or, your mustard. Mustard's pretty good actually, but, most condiments in the field or if you were to be in that aisle and you're looking at the whole list of condiments that you can buy and purchase, etc., hot sauce is pretty good in the sense of not only is it tasty, but it's good for adding to food if you're on a lower calorie diet because it's usually lower in calories than something like mayonnaise. So we're talking about mayonnaise and tomato and barbecue sauce. We mentioned Worcestershire very briefly. Hot sauce. Now, hot sauce is one of those things for me. I think when you're a child, you're not chowing down on peri-peri sauce. I'm sure it existed in some form, hot sauce or whatever, or sweet chili sauce or etc. But it's not till you get a lot older and your palate changes and obviously you start eating more different types of foods and you're not at home and, you're going out more, etc. And you're cooking what you actually want to eat, not what your mum and dad are making you eat, that you're trying all these different things. And one of them is hot sauce. And obviously there's different types of hot sauce. Peri-peri Nandos sauce, Nandos is a brand, comes to mind because it's pretty good. And it's very, you get different levels of hotness in the sense of like mild, medium, or hot. I think there's very hot as well, is there? I'm pretty sure there is. There's like a very hot version as well. But when you're talking about those kind of sauces, where you're talking about chili sauce or, you know, peri-peri sauce, or you're talking about Tabasco is another one that comes to mind, all that kind of stuff. You know, as a child, I wasn't chowing down on Tabasco. I mean, occasionally you might get, you know, your mum might whip up some sort of curry sauce, but, you know, you're not putting curry sauce on shit, like as in out of a bottle. It's being created as in from a powder. What I'm talking about is your pre-manufactured sauces like tomato, barbecue, etc. And certainly not in my household. Growing up, did we have any type of hot sauce? Like I said, we were very lucky to even have salt and pepper in our house. I think we had barbecue. I know we had Worcestershire because my dad loved it. Pretty sure that was it. I think as a teenager we may have had sweet chili. It could have been something that lived in the fridge but was hardly ever used because for some reason we had, but we weren't allowed to use it. I know, it's very strange. Sweet chili sauce is another one. But, you know, as a child, these days children might be exposed to a lot more to these kind of like types of sauces and condiments and enjoying them as children, and it's quite normal. Where back in my day, you know, we weren't really, chowing down on peri-peri sauce. So, yeah, there's kind of like that too. So obviously I've talked about sauces and kind of got distracted and could be rambling. But you're probably wondering, can't speak, wondering, what is my favourite condiment? Oh, God. Now I'm stuck. Because it's very hard. Like, I mean, if you were because there's so many that I do enjoy. Like, probably a while ago I would have probably said to you Kewpie. Kewpie mayonnaise would be my favourite because you can put it on so many things. I mean, as in the sense of vegetables. I mean, I eat a lot of chicken and protein, stuff like that, turkey, stuff like that. So Kewpie mayonnaise goes on all that kind of stuff and complements it, and it's yummy. I'd have to probably say now, probably in the last couple of years, if I was, you know, held down and I was going to say something, but I won't say that. If I was held down and forced to make a decision as to what my favourite condiment would be in the entire universes of condiments, I would probably say to you that my favourite condiment would probably be peri-peri sauce. Particular brand, Nandos mild peri-peri sauce. Reason being, it's tasty. It's not too hot. It's low in calories. It's got a nice taste. I think I've already said that. It pretty much goes with every kind of meat that you would eat. So I'm not only just talking about protein in the sense of chicken and turkey and mince, as in beef and turkey mince or chicken mince. You could put it on beef as well, and it's going to be really tasty and yummy and complement it and not be overpowering. And you could put a little or you could put a lot, and you're going to love it. You could put on vegetables. You could put it on your salad. If you want to. I mean, you would put salad dressing, but yeah, I would probably say to you now, if you were to really press me as to what my favourite condiment would be, if I had to make a choice, because, like, let's be honest, today I have talked about tomato and barbecue, which I love. I've talked about Kewpie. I've talked about Worcestershire briefly. I mentioned mustard. Who doesn't like mustard? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Dijonnaise, probably Dijonnaise, is that how you say? Yeah, is probably my favourite. I haven't talked about, you got salt and pepper, you got garlic, you got shit like that. Who doesn't like that shit? But if I was hard-pressed to make a choice out of, like, your pre-manufactured sauces in a bottle that you just chuck on your food when you're eating your dinner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner as well, I'm saying, I'd probably choose peri-peri, because it's just got the right level of spice. It's tasty. It's low in calories. It's going to elevate your food, and you're going to love it, and it's yummy. And that is it. So, what is your favourite condiment? Do you have a favourite condiment, as in sauces? Do you like any of the sauces that I've actually talked about today? You might be one of these weird freaks, and I'm thinking about myself, where I haven't even talked about spreads. I haven't even talked about jam or peanut butter or Vegemite or that shit. I'm talking about sauces, okay? I mean, we can talk about all those other types of spreads another day, because they are condiments as well. So let's, if we want to get in the weeds of shit, that's probably another podcast, even if anyone gives a shit about spreads. But I'm talking in particular, when I talk about condiments, I'm talking about sauces today. So pre-mixed, created sauces like tomato and barbecue sauce, etc. Let me know what your favourite condiment is. Do you have one? Are you a freak and don't like any of them? Because I know, if I'm talking about the spread side of things, there is particular spreads I don't like. I cannot stand. They're disgusting. Where on the other side, when I talk about sauces, there's many sauces that I like and enjoy and use quite regularly. So you could be one of these people who don't like sauces at all. That could be because as a child you weren't allowed to eat any. And you weren't allowed to have any at all on your food. Or you could be one of these people who basically drown their food and have no sense of taste or smell or know what real food actually tastes like, because it's literally drowned in tomato or sweet chili or something. So, yeah, like I said, it's just me rambling on about condiments today. If you're interested, take a listen. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favourite condiment is. If you would like to reach out to me and you have a condiment you want to talk about, maybe, or a condiment that I don't even know exists, or perhaps you just want to tell me that this podcast is shit, you can reach me at via email at the info. You can email me at info@thetequilahour.com.au if you'd like to contact me via email. If you are watching YouTube, or you subscribe to YouTube, or you randomly happen to click on the YouTube app, I don't know, you might do that. Go and check out my new podcast channel, which is the Tequila Hour podcast, and there you will find that I've actually downloaded my previous podcast as a YouTube video, and I will be doing the same for this one as well. Don't ask me why. Like I said, I have been getting these, not random, but it's one of those things where once you start doing these kind of things like YouTube or podcasts and stuff like that, and you use particular platforms, obviously they love giving you, like, do this, do that, try this, do that, do this and you'll be that, and I, as someone who's doing a podcast and someone who has two YouTube channels, I sound like a wanker, but look, am I doing it because, I want all the Instagram followers and all the followers, etc.? Yeah, it would be nice, but I'm not doing it because of that. It's because, again, I've always been of the opinion, in particular with my podcast, really, where I want to have use of this platform to basically talk about the things that, people talk about condiments, but, it gives me an opportunity to talk about the things that I really want to talk about. And, sometimes it's lighthearted, like this subject today. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit more in-depth, like talking about my childhood or talking about feelings or emotions. Sometimes it's going to be talking about mental health. Sometimes it's going to be talking about subjects that are important to me. There's a myriad of things that I'd love to talk about, and that's probably my main purpose. I was going to say mission, but that sounds really wanky. My main reason why I'm pushing myself to do something that's really quite uncomfortable and unnerving as this is that I really want to give it a shot and really want to try and extend myself and do something that really, in essence, I absolutely love and enjoy doing. Not only for the sake of just recording and, recording my voice, and I love using all these different types of platforms. I love using cameras. I love using lights. I love using auditing equipment. I love using Adobe. There's just so many facets of this that really fascinate me, and I want to give it a crack. So, yeah, see, I just went on a rant then. But, yeah, if you have the time and you just want to laugh, take a listen. Listen on your favourite streaming services like Spotify is one good example. If you would like to see me make a fool of myself while I'm talking about condiments, check out my new YouTube channel, which, like I mentioned, is the Tequila Hour podcast. And you also then have the opportunity to not only see me in the flesh and what I look like with my beautiful Urban Decay lipstick on and nothing else. I mean, I have clothes. That sounds weird. I have clothes on, of course, but I'm not all tarted up or anything. It's just me having a chat with you and, cutting fat and all that kind of shit. If you are interested in seeing what that looks like, check out my YouTube channel. I am going to attempt, just so you know, I am going to attempt doing a YouTube video tomorrow, an actual for my other channel, which is the one Amanda, because I haven't done one for a while, and that's a story for another day. Don't really know why, but also I wanted to get into a habit of doing that again, like uploading my podcast as well, because like I said, it's something that really interests me, and I'm very creative, and yeah, if you don't give it a go, you'll never know. So yeah, check it out. Love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear you listen. Love to see you on YouTube. Leave me a comment. Contact me via email. Subscribe, like, and all that kind of shit. And I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, see ya. Bye.